Live from Studio 44 in downtown Evansville, 44 News at Noon starts now.
Good afternoon. Welcome to 44 News at Noon. I'm Chelsea Koerbler, filling in for Shelby Coates. Crews are still working to keep an early morning fire under control. It happened at a paper shredding business on Evansville's west side. 44 News reporter Amanda Chodnicki was out there all morning long and joins us in the studio with the latest. Amanda?
Chelsea, thanks. Paper stacked to the ceiling inside the Piranha Mobile shredding business and limited water access. Those were just some of the challenges firefighters have been faced with today when it comes to this fire. Battalion Chief Dan Grimm with Evansville Fire says it all started around 4:30 a.m. Crews began to battle the flames from the outside until the sun went up. Then they were able to start fighting the fire head on from the inside. Chief Grimm says this is just the beginning.
They get a lot of paper in and it was just stacked up, waited to be shredding, and that's actually what's on fire. Since it's a very dense bale, so to speak, and stacks, it's going to burn for quite a long time. So our crews are probably going to be on scene most of today and maybe even some tomorrow.
Again, the other challenge Chief Grimm says was the limited water access. He says there was difficulty getting the hoses across the train tracks to the nearest fire hydrant. So they were forced to stretch the hoses more than 1,000 feet away across Franklin Street, blocking the road. Chief Grimm says he plans to meet with CSX sometime next week to avoid something like this from happening again. I'll have a more detailed story on this fire tonight on 44 News. Chelsea.
Amanda, thank you. An overturned semi ties up traffic in Henderson this morning. Before 8 o'clock, Henderson police received a call about an overturned semi on Kentucky 136. Officers say the driver tried to make a turn onto the highway when the semi overturned, spilling a load of soybeans onto the shoulder. The road was closed for about an hour while crews cleaned up. No one was injured in the accident. Owensboro Community and Technical College announces a new opportunity for high school seniors, a new partnership between the Kentucky Community and Technical College system, the Owensboro Fire Department, and the Kentucky Fire Commission will allow OCTC to help the fire department develop a better prepared workforce for jobs at all skill levels. The program offers 2- and 3-year programs.
We ensure that everybody is successful and we're filling our workforce needs.
Fire officials say it's just as important to note the program will save lives. The first students will enter the program in 2017. Evansville police arrest a man wanted for murder in Wisconsin. Officers responding to a shots fired call overnight near Gum and Elliott Street say they saw a damaged car backing away from them in that area. That led to a pursuit, and officers say the driver, Keon Grant, jumped out while the car was still moving. Officers chased Grant down several alleys before arresting him. Officers then learned Grant faces murder charges in Milwaukee. He's being held without bond in the Vanderburgh County Jail. A gun sale takes a turn for the worse and results in an attempted murder charge. Blake Will and Devin Merriweather are both facing several charges from the incident, including an attempted murder charge for Will. According to the sheriff's office, Will was attempting to sell a handgun to Merriweather when an incident escalated, and Merriweather fled. In a statement to police, Will claimed that as Merriweather fled, he fired shots into the air. However, police found Merriweather's vehicle with bullet holes in the driver's side door frame. Will and Merriweather are currently being held in the Vanderburgh County Jail. Evansville police are investigating a kidnapping that happened around 9 Thursday night. The 34-year-old victim told police she was walking on Walnut near Kurth when a truck pulled up next to her. According to police report, the victim told police the driver had a taser and forced her into the truck. She told police he drove her to a location south of the Twin Bridges and demanded her to perform oral sex. The victim refused. She says the offender then drove her back to US 41 in Walnut, where she jumped out of the truck. In Muhlenberg County, Kentucky State Police say they arrested a 48-year-old man in connection to child sex abuse. According to a news release, an investigation started after allegations were made against Jesse Graham. He faces charges of sodomy and sexual abuse for a victim under 12 years of age. The investigation is ongoing, and you are asked to call Kentucky State Police if you know anything about this case. Jasper police are searching for 2 suspects accused of breaking into a car and then beating up the driver. According to a press release, officers were called to Conrad Avenue around 3:30 Thursday morning for a car break-in. The victim told police that she was beat up after confronting 2 suspects. They were last seen wearing black ski masks and all black clothing. They're described to be about 5'4" to 5'6" with a slender build. If you have any information, call Jasper police. Evansville police are investigating a late-night armed robbery near Haney's Corner. It happened at the Fountain View Mini Mart on Adams Avenue just before 11 Thursday night. According to the police report, the suspect walked into the store with a handgun and pointed it toward the register. The report says he got away with about $200. The PGA Tour and United Leasing Finance announced a 3-year extension of the Web.com Tours United Leasing and Finance Championship at Victoria National Golf Club. Victoria National Golf Club has hosted the Web.com Tour event since 2012. The golf club has also hosted the Legends Tour in 2003 and 2004 and the U.S. Senior Amateur in 2006. The 2017 United Leasing and Finance Championship will be held April 17th to the 23rd at Victoria National.
All right, it's 12:06 on this Friday afternoon. Yay for the weekend. As we take a look around the tri-state area, we're seeing mostly sunny to partly cloudy skies. Plenty of sunshine at the airport. Winds out of the south-southeast at about 5 miles per hour. We've got a nice day ahead of us, a warm weekend, and we're going to see above average temperatures. Believe it or not, we're going to continue to warm up. Today we should see highs in those 70s. Plenty of sunshine, but we're going to continue with this weather trend through your weekend and be well above average. The average this time of year should be in those mid to upper 60s. We'll be well above that, especially through your Halloween holiday weekend. 3 p.m. we're going to see that temp of about 70 degrees. At 6 p.m. we're going to start dipping down to about 67 degrees. And as we continue through your day at 9 p.m., 61 degrees. Football games, Halloween activities going on. I'll have that 44 blitz forecast, your Halloween forecast, and that 7-day coming up in minutes. Chelsea.
Thanks, Jackie. Candidates for U.S. Senate in Illinois face off in their first televised debate. Last night, incumbent Republican Mark Kirk met Democratic Congresswoman Tammy Duckworth in Springfield. Kirk is hoping to win a second term, but he's being criticized this morning for comments he made about Duckworth's heritage.
I'm a daughter of the American Revolution. I've bled for this nation. But I still want to be there in the Senate when the drums of war sound, because people are quick to sound the drums of war, and I want to be there to say, this is what it costs, this is what you're asking us to do, and if that's the case, I'll go. Families like mine are the ones that bleed first. But let's make sure the American people understand what we are engaging in, and let's hold our allies accountable, because we can't do it all.
I had forgotten that your parents came all the way from Thailand to serve George Washington.
Duckworth is an Iraq War veteran who lost both legs due to an explosion in 2004. Indiana Governor Mike Pence is back on the campaign trail today after an accident involving his campaign plane last night. This morning, the NTSB will begin investigating what caused the plane to skid off the runway at LaGuardia. Port Authority's officials say the aircraft overshot the runway after a hard landing in heavy rain. Everyone on board, including Governor Pence, his family, and more than 30 others escaped unharmed.
Our son is a Marine Corps aviator. Our son Michael likes to say, you know, every landing that you walk away from is a successful landing. Everybody was fine.
Pence's wife, Karen, is also a licensed pilot. Officials say arrestor beds at the end of the runway slowed down the plane and may have saved lives. Coming up next at noon, how one little boy scored free tickets to tonight's World Series game. And later, a new style of pumpkin gaining popularity across the country has an important role in keeping kids safe.